Hello and welcome back. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2026.
And what a week it's been.
Seriously, if you're anything like me, you're probably looking at the calendar right now wondering where the first 2 months of the year actually went.
Yeah, they just vanished.
Completely. But honestly, looking at the stack of stories we have on the desk today, it feels like the industry decided to save the absolute best and the most intense news for the very end of the month.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I am buzzing with energy today. No artificial stimulants needed. Just pure adrenaline from the headlines we're about to unpack.
It really is one of those weeks, isn't it? Usually, when we sit down to prep for a deep dive, we're looking at maybe one big story and a few filler pieces.
Right.
Maybe a box office clash or a casting rumor. But today, we are looking at a spectrum that is honestly kind of dizzying. You really have to take a step back and just appreciate the sheer range of what Indian cinema is doing right now.
It feels like the entire ecosystem is represented in just these few days.
Exactly. We are looking at a spectrum that goes from a small, intimate Manipuri film stunning the entire world in London all the way to a massive royal wedding celebration in Udaipur.
Oh, we are definitely getting to that wedding.
With some serious hard-nosed business numbers thrown right in the middle. It's art, it's commerce, it's celebration, and it's history.
It feels like a turning point, doesn't it? And that is exactly what I want to explore with you today. We are calling this deep dive the BAFTA Breakthrough, Anil Kapoor's Duty, and the 100 crore overseas gamble.
Catchy, I like it.
We've got a lot of ground to cover. The mission here is to really understand how Indian cinema is breaking barriers, like regional films literally beating Disney at the BAFTAs.
Which is no small feat. I mean, in fact, it might be the story of the year.
I think you might be right. We're also going to analyze the shifting dynamics of stardom. So we've got veterans like Anil Kapoor, who arguably have more fire in their belly than actors half their age. And then we have the new power structures of celebrity weddings and brand endorsements.
And of course, the business behind the art.
Always the business.
We often get lost in the glamour, right? The red carpets, the paparazzi photos. But when you see a number like 105 crores for an overseas distribution deal,
Which is insane.
before a film is even out, you realize the economics of Indian cinema are rewriting themselves in real time. That is a number that demands we stop and pay attention.
So, if you're listening, here are the headlines you need to know before we jump in. A Manipuri film has its David versus Goliath moment at the BAFTAs. Anil Kapoor is refusing to talk about yesterday. He only wants to know about tomorrow.
We have the details on that massive bet placed on Yash's film, Toxic, and we are taking you inside the wedding of the year happening right now.
It's a real mix of pride, curiosity, and celebration today.
Let's get right into it. Section 1, India at the BAFTAs. This is a history-making moment, and I feel like we use the phrase history-making a lot in this industry.
We do throw it around.
We do, but this actually fits the bill. We are talking about the film Boom. Boom. It's a title that is going to be remembered for a very long time. So to set the scene for you listening at home, the BAFTAs, the British Academy Film Awards, took place in London.
Right.
This is essentially the British equivalent of the Oscars. It is the highest level of recognition in the UK. And in the category of Best Children's and Family Film, the winner was Boom, a Manipuri language film directed by Lakshmipriya Devi.
Now, hold on. I need to pause here and really emphasize the competition. Because sometimes you hear Best Children's Film and you think, oh, maybe it was a small category, maybe they were up against some indie documentaries.
Right. People assume it's some niche side category. It is not.
Look at who they were up against. This is the part that just blows my mind.
This is the absolute definition of the David versus Goliath narrative.
Yeah.
They weren't just competing against other small films. They beat Disney's Zootopia 2.
Disney.
They beat the live-action Lilo and Stitch. They beat Arco and Zootropolis 2.
Just let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2.
Exactly. These are billion-dollar franchises. We are talking about films with marketing budgets that are literally larger than the GDP of some small nations.
Seriously.
These are films that have merchandise in every toy store in the world. They have theme park rides already planned. They have global distribution networks that have been solidified for decades.
Decades of infrastructure.
And a regional Indian film telling a story rooted in Manipur just walked onto that stage and took home the trophy.
That is absolutely wild. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, because it really speaks to the power of storytelling over sheer spectacle.
Yeah.
You can have the best CGI for technology in the world. You can have the biggest Hollywood voice actors. But if the heart isn't there, or if the story doesn't resonate on a human level, you can still lose to a film like Boom.
It totally validates the argument that content is king.
Yeah.
But we also have to shout out the backing here,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Because a film like this, no matter how good, needs a champion to get it in front of the jury. It needs visibility. And this is an Excel Entertainment production.
Farhan Akhtar and Ritesh Sidhwani.
It is. And, it's interesting because when you think of Excel Entertainment, what do you usually think of? You think of Dawn. You think of Dil Chahta Hai.
Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara.
Right. Slick, urban, wealthy people driving convertibles in Europe.
Exactly. They basically defined the cool urban Indian aesthetic for 20 years. But for them to put their weight and their resources behind a Manipuri film like Boom shows a very savvy understanding of where cinema is actually going.
It really does.
It shows they understand that the next wave isn't just about Bollywood mainstream. It's about hyper-local stories with universal emotions. Farhan and Ritesh have obviously championed Lakshmapriya Devi's vision here, and it paid off globally.
And the industry reaction back home has been beautiful. We saw Kangana Ranaut and Karan Johar, who, let's be honest, do not always agree on things.
And Statement of the Year.
Both coming out and calling this a remarkable achievement.
When you have Kangana and Karan on the exact same page, you know you have done something undeniable.
It feels like one of those very rare moments where the entire fraternity unites. There's no politics, no campism, just pure pride.
It validates the regional voice. It proves that you don't need Hindi or English to communicate globally. If the emotion is true, a story from Manipur can resonate with a jury in London just as much as a story from Los Angeles.
Speaking of resonating in London, the BAFTAs also brought a tear to everyone's eye with the In Memoriam segment.
Oh, yeah. That was heavy.
We lost the He-Man of Bollywood, Dharmendra, back in November, and seeing him honored on that global stage, that hit hard.
It was a very poignant moment. You know, Dharmendra passed away on November 24th last year at the age of 89. And sometimes, because he was such a massive commercial superstar here, the action hero, the comedy icon in Chalet or Chapki Chapki, we forget that his impact wasn't just local.
We think of him as ours, right?
We do. We claim him completely. But the BAFTAs included him in their tribute alongside global legends like Robert Duvall, Val Kilmer, and Tom Stoppard.
That puts him in incredible company.
It does. And it acknowledges that his contribution to the art form of cinema was world-class. His daughter, Esha Deol, shared a very touching sentiment about it. She said her father touched hearts across continents. And she's absolutely right.
Just think about the diaspora.
Exactly. When Indians moved to the UK, to the US, to Canada in the 70s and 80s, what did they take with them?
VHS tapes.
Right. They took their food, they took their music, and they took the films of Dharmendra. He was a direct connection to home. Seeing his image up there in London, it's a reminder that cinema creates a legacy that outlives the artist. It travels borders that the artist might never have crossed physically.
Absolutely. And just to round out the Indian presence at the BAFTAs, we had Alia Bhatt there as well.
Yes, representing the current
The
generation.
reports described her look as silver glam, which sounds fabulous. But what I loved was the behind-the-scenes stuff. Apparently, there were a lot of giggles and sweet treats involved backstage.
It creates this nice contrast, doesn't it?
It really does.
You have the solemn respect for a legend like Dharmendra, the groundbreaking victory of a regional film like Boom, and then the mainstream star power of Alia Bhatt walking the carpet.
It shows the maturity of the industry. We aren't just one thing anymore. We are the history, we are the artistic breakthrough, and we are the global glamour all at once. We basically have a seat at every table now.
Moving from the global stage back to the heart of the industry, let's talk about our veterans. And specifically, a man who I am convinced has discovered the fountain of youth, but absolutely refuses to share the coordinates with the rest of us.
Anil Kapoor.
Anil Kapoor.
He is a phenomenon. There is no other word for it.
So the trailer for his new film, Subedaar, just dropped on Prime Video. And let me tell you, this is not comedy Anil from Welcome.
No.
This is not dad roles Anil from Dil Tadakni Da. This is intense. It's very intense. In Subedaar, he's playing an ex-army officer who is trying to adjust to civilian life, but is compelled, forced, really, to pick up arms again. The themes are heavy. Duty, sacrifice, internal conflict. It's about a soldier who has left the war, but the war hasn't left him.
It sounds gripping, but what I found most fascinating was the insight from the director, Suresh Triveni. He shared this anecdote about pitching the film to Kapoor.
This is a masterclass in mindset right here. Suresh Triveni said that when he spoke to Anil Kapoor, Kapoor told him, I'm quoting here, "Tell me about today and tomorrow. Don't tell me about yesterday. And I'm not kidding.
Don't tell me about yesterday. That is such a powerful statement.
It's the secret sauce, isn't it? Think about it.
Yeah.
Here is a man with a career spanning over 4 decades. He could easily rest on his laurels.
No, completely.
He could just talk about Mr. India or Tezab or Ram Lakhan forever. He could do the convention circuit, sign autographs, and coast. But he actively rejects nostalgia as a crutch. He views it as a trap. He wants to know what he's doing now.
Triveni also mentioned that he pitched the idea as just a one-line concept, and Kapoor's immediate response was, "Ka banana hai. When do we make it?"
That hunger is rare. Usually, actors at that stage become very risk-averse.
They overthink everything.
They do. They have a legacy to protect, so they play it safe. Kapoor is operating with the enthusiasm of a newcomer, but the skill set of a veteran. Trivia mentioned he drew inspiration for this character from Kapoor's 1980s intensity, that angry young man vibe, but channeled it into a modern narrative.
So we're getting the grit of the 80s with the nuance of 2026 storytelling.
Exactly.
I cannot wait to watch that. It really challenges the younger generation, doesn't it? If the guy in his late 60s is working harder than you, what is your excuse?
It raises the bar for everyone.
And speaking of veterans and resilience, we have to touch on Rajpal Yadav.
Yes, a different kind of resilience here.
We saw the news that he was granted interim bail in a check bounce case, which is obviously a stressful legal situation. We aren't going to get into the legalese of it, but what's striking is that almost immediately he's back on the set of Welcome to the Jungle.
It speaks to that show must go on mentality. Rajpal Yadav made a statement that was quite moving. He said, "Mumbai has never let me down and I have never ran out of work."
That is a beautiful tribute to the city and the industry.
It is. It highlights the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Despite personal or legal setbacks, if you have talent and you show up, the industry tends to rally around you. It's a support system. He's not hiding away. He's doing what he does best, entertaining.
Right.
It's a very practical, workmanlike approach to stardom. He views himself as a worker in the factory of dreams, and he's punching the clock.
It really is. Now let's shift gears from the creative side to the hard numbers. Because if you want to know where the industry is heading, you have to follow the money. And right now, a lot of money is flowing toward Yash and his upcoming film, Toxic.
This is where we get into the 100 crore gamble I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
This is the story that made my jaw drop this week. We have reports coming in about the pre-release business for Toxic, specifically the overseas distribution deal.
Okay. Lay the number on us.
105 crore.
105 crore. Just for overseas.
Just for overseas rights. And remember, if you're listening to this, this is pre-release. The film hasn't hit screens yet.
Yeah.
Nobody has bought a ticket yet.
That is astronomical. Let's break down what that actually means. What are these distributors actually buying?
They are buying brand Yash. This is a massive vote of confidence. Post-KGF, Yash isn't just a Canada star. He isn't even just a pan-Indian star. He is viewed as a global asset.
Yeah.
Distributors, who are generally the most risk-averse people in the business, are betting 105 crores that the diaspora and international audiences are going to turn up in droves.
It really changes the benchmark. It means a film can recover a huge chunk of its budget before a single ticket is sold in Mumbai or Delhi.
Exactly. It reduces the financial risk for the producers, but it skyrockets the creative stakes. Because now, the content must deliver on a global scale. If you sell the rights for that much and the movie flops, the distributors lose their shirts and your market value crashes for the next one. It's a high-wire act.
And speaking of the content, we got some new character posters, right?
Yes. We saw posters for Akshay Oberoi playing a character named Tony and Sudhav Nair as Karmati. The film is directed by Geetu Mohandas, which is such an interesting choice.
That is the wild card for me.
She's known for very gritty, almost indie sensibilities.
Yeah.
Liar's Dice, Muthan, these are festival films. Combining her artistic vision with Yasha's mass scale, that is a volatile mix.
Volatile is the right word. And the title, Toxic, suggests we aren't getting a clean-cut hero. It fits this trend of darker, edgier narratives.
Speaking of edgy narratives, let's check in on Vishal Bhardwaj's O Romeo. The box office numbers are in for day 11.
Right. So let's look at the report card. The film has crossed 83 crore worldwide. In India, it's sitting at around 55-90 crore.
Now, in the old days, 83 crore for a niche, stylized film would be a massive celebration. But the trend analysis suggests a lukewarm reception in the second week. It's slowing down.
It's the classic critics versus commerce debate, or perhaps art versus audience.
Vishal Bhardwaj is a master, no doubt.
Yeah.
But O Romeo has faced some criticism for its stylized violence. It's not fun violence like Animal or Pathan. It's heavy, artistic violence.
Right.
Bhardwaj has come out to defend it, calling it a cultural and aesthetic choice.
It's that Tarantino argument, isn't it? Violence as an art form.
Precisely. But what's interesting is that while the general audience might be finding it a bit heavy, Bharadwaj dropped a little nugget that has everyone distracted from the box office numbers. He revealed that he talks to Shah Rukh Khan often.
Oh, the eternal tease, the will they, won't they of Bollywood.
The holy grail of collaborations.
Yeah.
Bharadwaj said he pitched a story to SRK during the making of a Romeo, and SRK's reaction was, "Yar ek film tahoni." Friend, one film has to happen.
Eve film Tahoni. I feel like we've been waiting for this for 20 years.
We have. It represents the perfect marriage of art and commerce. Imagine the Shakespearean depth of Bharadwaj with the intensity and charm of Shah Rukh Khan.
It would be incredible.
It's the collaboration that never happens, but we never stop hoping for it. It keeps the mythos alive.
Well, while we wait for SRK to join Bharadwaj's dark world, let's talk about the dark side that is already here. Section 4, controversies, and the villain era.
We have to address the Kerala story too. The first film was a massive commercial success, but obviously polarized the audience politically. The sequel is stirring the pot again.
We want to be clear here. If you're listening, we're just looking at the cinematic claims being made. We aren't taking sides on the politics. The director, Kamakhya Narayan Singh, is taking a very strong stance. He's not shying away from the criticism.
No, he's doubling down. He's defending the film against claims that it's propaganda. And he raised the stakes significantly in a recent interview. He's quoted as saying, "If we've shown anything wrong, I'll quit filmmaking."
That is a bold statement. I'll quit filmmaking.
It shows his conviction. He claims the film, which covers religious conversion and coercion across Kerala, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh, is based on absolute truth. Now, whether people agree with his perspective or not, you have to acknowledge that he is putting his entire career credibility on the line. He isn't hiding behind creative liberty defenses. He is claiming factual accuracy.
And in this climate, that is going to generate a lot of conversation, to say the least. It forces the audience to engage with the film as a document, not just a movie.
Which inevitably drives ticket sales, regardless of the controversy.
Now, moving from real-world controversy to on-screen villainy, Abhishek Bachchan,
Junior B is entering his villain era.
he gave an interview about prepping for his role in the movie King, where he plays the arch-villain against none other than Shah Rukh Khan.
This connects to a broader theme we are seeing, right?
Yeah.
The lines between light and dark are blurring in Indian cinema. Actors are openly embracing these gray or even pitch black characters.
It used to be that the hero had to be pure. Now the villain is the juicy role.
Exactly, the Joker effect. And for Abhishek, this is a great pivot. He has that intensity, that brooding quality, think Yuva or Ravan.
Oh, Ravan was fantastic.
Putting him up against SRK, who we know can play the charming hero or the anti-hero, creates a fantastic dynamic. It's not just good guy beats bad guy anymore. It's about complex characters clashing. It reflects a more mature audience that wants psychological depth, not just punching.
I am here for it. Give me a complex villain any day. All right, let's shake off the darkness and get to the glitter. Section 5, celebrations. Because it is wedding season, and we have a big one happening right now.
The wedding of the moment, Vijay-Rashmika and Rashmika Mandana.
It is finally happening. The festivities are underway in Udaipur at the ITC Mementos.
A stunning location.
Incredible. So the timeline is, the wedding ceremony itself is on February 26th, but the pre-wedding stuff, the haldi, the mehendi, the sangeet, is all happening right now. And then there's a reception scheduled for March 4th in Hyderabad.
What I like about this is how they've managed the atmosphere. Initially, reports said it was a celebration only for friends, with family joining later. It feels intimate. I mean, as intimate as a celebrity wedding in a palace can be.
True. They have kept it relatively low-key compared to some of the absolute media circuses we have seen recently. It feels very them, a bit private, a bit playful.
It balances the public interest with their personal need for space. And frankly, seeing two stars who are at the top of their game tying the knot, it's the kind of power couple narrative that fans love.
Yeah.
It solidifies their brand as a duo, even if they want to keep the ceremony private. It's smart branding, even if it's unintentional.
From one celebration of love to a celebration of talent, we have to talk about Sai Pallavi at the Filmfare Awards South.
This was a standout moment. Sai Pallavi won an award, but her speech, that's what stole the show.
She was very emotional, wasn't she?
Very. She dedicated the award not to her team or her parents, but to the real-life family behind the film, Amaran.
That is class.
It grounds the glamour. You are standing there holding a golden trophy, wearing a beautiful outfit, but you take that moment to remind everyone that the story you told was real, that real people lived that pain or that joy.
Yeah.
It shows why Sai Pallavi is so beloved. She has this authenticity that cuts through the artificiality of award shows.
Absolutely. It reminds us why we watch these movies in the first place. We do it for that human connection.
Precisely.
Now, let's take a step back in time. Section 6. Industry flashbacks. We have some stories today that really highlight the high stakes in the heart of Bollywood history. First up, Jodha Akbar.
Oh, the scale of that movie. Nita Lula, the legendary costume designer, recently revealed some details that just blow my mind. She talked about the absolute panic on set.
Panic, why?
Because of the gold. They used 400 kilograms of gold to the jewelry and costumes.
400 kilograms.
400 kilograms. Can you imagine the logistics? She revealed they had to have 5 armed guards on set at all times.
I can just picture the director, Ashutosh Gorakhpur, trying to set up a soft romantic shot, and there are just 5 guys with rifles staring at Aishwarya Rai's necklace.
It really underscores the risk involved in creating iconic cinema. We look at Jodha Akbar now and say, oh, it's a masterpiece, it's so grand. But at the time, it was a logistical nightmare. The sheer production value, you just don't get that with CGI. You feel the weight of that gold on screen because it was real.
That is dedication. And speaking of risks and generosity, we have a lovely story from Sudha Chandran about the late Ramoji Rao.
This is a heartwarming one. Sudha Chandran, who we all know from Mayuri or Nach Mayuri in Hindi, recounted her experience with producer Ramoji Rao. She said he gave her a blank check.
A blank check.
Blank check and a secret diamond ring. She was talking about the pure heart of producers who champion talent. Ramoji Rao didn't just fund a movie, he bet on her as a person.
Wow.
Mayuri was a film about a dancer who loses her leg and dances again, which was Sudha's real-life story. For a producer to back that with a blank check, that's not business, that's belief.
It's beautiful. It reminds us that behind the ruthless box office numbers, there are people who genuinely care about art and artists.
Which brings us to the flip side, the modern business of celebrity. We had a fascinating crossover between Bollywood and the startup world this week. Vanita Singh from Shark Tank India.
Oh, I saw this. She said she would bet her entire season budget on Tamannaah Bhatia.
That is a huge endorsement from someone who knows business.
Oh?
But the insight actually came from Tamannaah herself. She explained why celebrity brands often fail.
Go on.
She made the point that you can't just slap a face on a product. The celebrity has to move beyond just being a face to understanding the actual business viability. Vanita Singh, betting on her, suggests that Tamannaah actually gets the economics. It's not just vanity, it's equity.
That's a crucial lesson for the new crop of stars. You can't just launch a lipstick line and expect it to sell because you have 50 million followers on Instagram. You need a business brain.
Exactly. The audience is too smart now. They know when it's just a cash grab.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick trailer tracker. We love highlighting the regional gems that might fly under the radar. What have we got?
First, Taika Zavi. This stars Radhika Sarathkumar. The premise is intriguing. It's about a spirit-guarded fort that no man can reach.
Ooh, spooky. I love a good mystery.
Radhika in a mystery role is always a win. Then we have Ishq Leke, a Punjabi romantic drama. It's tackling cultural expectations. Punjabi cinema is really growing its storytelling breadth beyond just comedy, and this looks like a solid emotional drama.
And just a quick mention for the Hollywood crossover fans, Scream 7 dropped a trailer.
Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox are back. The horror franchise that refuses to die, much like its villain.
Just like Rajpal Yadav, they keep coming back.
Everything is connected.
So let's bring it all home. What does this week tell us? Think about it if you are listening to this and analyzing the broader landscape.
It tells us that the definitions are dissolving. Regional cinema is winning global awards over Disney. Veteran actors like Anil Kapoor are refusing to act their age and are demanding roles about tomorrow. Villains are the new heroes. And business deals are happening before a single camera rolls.
It feels like the industry is balancing nostalgia with tributes to Dharmendra and stories about Jodha Akbar with this fierce ambition for the future, led by people like Yash and the team behind Boom. I want you to mull that over. How long can a film industry survive on nostalgia before it has to completely surrender to tomorrow's ambition?
It's a vibrant, chaotic, exciting time. We aren't just watching movies, we're watching a culture evolve.
Well said. There is so much more to come, and we will be here to track every twist and turn.
Absolutely.
From headlines to heartbeats, you've been listening to Bollywood Deep Dive by IndiaRevue.com. Catch you where the stories are.